GMB TV. Yeah, like, come on, follow me. Let's see what we got.
Listen closely if you trying to eat. Get passive income, got that money flowing in my sleep. Young and please, got 30,000 on my wrist, 10 on my fist. That 18 around my neck, make I can show respect. You looking at a God exhorting no fear. About 5 in each ear, that's what you wanna hear. VA.
Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah,
What I say?
it's grown man business.
It's grown man business.
I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times, my G's, at all times. And we all see what's going down with NBA YoungBoy. We all see what's transpiring with NBA YoungBoy. Listen, he has reached a fork in the road. He has literally reached a fork in the road when it comes to the higher-ups and the elites. I mean, it gets deep, it gets wicked. And it's always deep in the rap when you scratching the surface. And here at Grown Man Business TV, we definitely scratching the surface. Now listen, NBA YoungBoy and Quando, Rondo, they had a joint collab album that just released recently. Now, it is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. But NBA YoungBoy begged for this album not to be dropped. He begged for this album not to be released because he's no longer willing to support and push the agenda and push the violence on the youngsters. I mean, it is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. But when you are knee deep in this industry, when you're knee deep with the higher-ups and elites, you don't get to choose what music get put out. You don't get to choose what albums get dropped. You understand me? Now, we all know Quando, Rondo. We all know Little Tim. They rolled up King Von. Been smoking that Von pack for a few years now. Oh, them youngsters been blowing that Von pack for a few years now. So it is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. But the higher-ups are in control of this. You can't, cut the strings of the Geppetto when you want to. So we're going to get into this thing. You already know we're going to get into this angle. We're going to watch these clips and we're going to double back and get deeper into this angle. You understand me? We're going to watch these clips. We're going to double back and we're going to get deeper into this angle. But it is what it is when it comes to Quando, Rondo. It is what it is when it comes to NBA YoungBoy. We come from boys to men and it's always a fork in the road. It's always a fork in the road that us as men, we reach. So let's get into these clips and we'll double back and get deeper into this angle. Gang.
Hey, I like doing my face. I like painting my face or putting makeup on. I don't know. I like to look in the mirror and see everything black, like my eyes and shit.
One minute later.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, my G's. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I mean, it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deep in the rap when you scratching the surface. And here at Grown Man Business TV, we definitely scratching the surface. And you saw those clips, right? I'm sure you got an earful, right? I'm sure you got an eye full as well. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, listen, we all know NBA YoungBoy and Quando Rondo are some of the youngest, wildest rappers ever to step foot into this industry, especially NBA YoungBoy. I mean, he has a reach that's on his YouTube and these streaming platforms. NBA YoungBoy has a much further reach than even a Drake. He is considerably the biggest male rap artist in this generation, NBA YoungBoy. And as he's coming up, you know, he's pushing the agenda of the higher ups and the elites. You feel me? He's pushing violence amongst the youth. And we already know what the higher ups and elites want. You know, Kanye West, Yeezy has been talking about them for a while, those people, and the damaging music that they push and they promote to the black culture. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And NBA YoungBoy has spearheaded that movement for some years now. But like I told y'all, you understand what I'm saying? A fork in the road. It's always a fork in the road when you becoming a grown man and you start standing on grown man business. So I'm not going to lie. NBA YoungBoy has been a puppet for a long time. He has been being moved by the Geppetto. He's been a piece on the chessboard for a long time. If you believe it or not, you know, well, we all know that he hasn't signed to a label, and we all know, you know, that he's independent. But even being independent, if you're in this industry, you are a puppet for the Geppetto. Now, NBA YoungBoy, he got locked up, right? He got locked up, and we all saw what happened when he got out. Oh, that black face and that makeup, that was a ritual, a humiliation ritual for not continuing to push the violence and getting put in jail. You understand me? So you got to know he's knee deep. He's no different than any other artist in this business. Now, NBA YoungBoy, Quando, Rondo, present day. They did some music back in the day. They did a joint collab album. You understand me? Fire music. But you got to know within this album, they talking about smoking King Von. They talking about rolling King Von up, blowing that Von pack, blowing away this rapper, smoking that rapper, sliding with the switches this way, sliding with the Draco that way. And being as though NBA YoungBoy has had an awakening. He has had an awakening in present time. He didn't want that album to be dropped. And he begged the higher ups and elites not to drop that album because he understands the reach that he has with the youth. He knows that this album is full of a bunch of violence. It's full of a bunch of nonsense that's going to lead the youth that follows him right off the cliff. Right off the cliff, my G. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. So he begged the higher ups and the elites. But what you think they did? You think that they said, hey, man, you don't want us to drop this album? We're not going to drop this album. No, you done already got in bed with the higher ups and elites. Actually, you've been in bed with the higher ups and elites for a long time now, NBA YoungBoy. They looking at NBA YoungBoy like, yo, what you trying to change the money scheme? This how we getting money. We sell your people death. We sell your culture death. We sell your culture violence. You understand me? So you made a whole album with Quando Rondo talking about smoking Von pack, calling women the B word, you know, disrespecting your own culture, your own people. And you think we not going to make money off it? You think we not going to monetize it, my boy? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You know, NBA YoungBoy's been a puppet for a long time. You saw the makeup in the humiliation ritual that he did soon as he got out of jail. I mean, we all saw it with our own eyes, NBA YoungBoy. But even as a puppet, even as a puppet for the higher ups and elites, it comes a time where you want to cut the strings. Yeah. Even with these artists, it doesn't matter. Any industry. When you are a puppet for so long, in due time, you're going to come to a fork in the road, and you can either go right or you can go left. And you're going to want to cut them strings, man. But you're so deep in bed with the higher ups and elites that you could never cut the strings, NBA YoungBoy. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface. And here at Grown Man Business TV, we definitely scratching the surface, my G. And I'm just here to tell you that you done did so much work for the higher ups and elites. You done caused so much death and destruction in your own community that now you want to double back But I told you, we only double back to get deeper into these angles, my boy. We only double back to get deeper into these angles. So NBA YoungBoy, I'm sorry. I understand it. I get it. But you done got so deep in bed with the higher ups and elites that they're going to continuously push out the music that you use and you made to destroy your community. The only way you're really going to be able to change things, NBA YoungBoy, is if you do a whole album and you continue to now continuously make music in positivity. Continuously make music as a vessel for God. And I ain't talking about their God. I ain't talking about the Baphomet. You have to now start to do God's work, NBA YoungBoy. You understand me? And y'all saw the clips. Like I said, I mean, he's doubling back. He doesn't want that out. He didn't want that album to be dropped. You understand me? He's making tweets and he's making posts to let the youth know that he's being used. But this is what you got to understand, NBA YoungBoy. We already know you've been being used. This is nothing new. You understand me? So it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. But I had to speak on this to the youth, to the youngsters that's dying to be rappers. You're literally dying to be a puppet for the higher ups and the elites. And who are the higher ups and the elites? Man, Kanye West and Kyrie Irving been talking about them for the last 6 months. You would have to be living under a rock not to know who I'm talking about. It is what it is, but it be what it's going to be. Listen, we growing organically, my G. Constant elevation. We approaching 15,000 subscribers. Let's get to 20. Let's get to 20, my G's. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But we going to protect the platform. We going to continue to push truth and bring light to the darkness. We're going to continue to push the truth and bring light to the darkness. And I got to say, man, it's a beautiful thing to see an NBA YoungBoy at his prime, doubling back, trying to make a change, trying to stop the violence and destruction that he has caused already. NBA YoungBoy already knew if this album drops, we done diss King Von. It's going to rehash the beef with O-Block. It's going to rehash the beef with Little Durk. And he don't want the violence to continue. He has reached a fork in the road. You're either going to continue to be NBA YoungBoy or you're going to become a man. I don't want that to go over your head, NBA YoungBoy, or under your bridge. But you're either going to continue to be NBA YoungBoy or you're going to grow up and become a man. NBA Young Man. I think you should change your name to NBA Young Man. And then not just change your name, but after you change your name to NBA Young Man, you start standing on grown man business. If you need some help, tap in with me. I can show you the way, young boy. I can show you the way, young soldier. You want to stand on grown man business? Listen, holler at Big G&B TV. And don't you ever forget the TV. And you better always remember the Oracle. You understand me? I don't want that to go over your head or under your bridge, NBA Young Boy. Are you going to remain young boy? Or you going to turn to NBA Young Man? And if you need some help with that, holler at Big G&B TV, the Oracle. And you better never forget the TV. And you better always remember the Oracle. This is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I can see it from a grown man perspective. I can see it from multiple different angles, my G. And again, NBA YoungBoy is at a fork in the road. He's at a fork in the road where you're going to continue to be NBA YoungBoy or you're going to turn into NBA Young Man. And we're here for it. We're here for it, my G. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You already know what it is. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the bricks into the bottles. Straight off the brick into the bottle. Straight, raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. We giving it to you straight raw, my G. Hey, yo, NBA Young Man. We giving it to you straight raw. I'm going to start calling you NBA Young Man. You understand what I'm saying? No more NBA Young Boy. It's NBA Young Man. He's manning up. You understand me? And better late than never. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But this is God's work. Gang. GMB TV. Yeah, come on, follow me. Let's see what we got.
Listen closely if you trying to eat. Get passive income, got that money flowing in my sleep. Young and please, got 30,000 on my wrist, 10 on my fist. That 18 around my neck, make I can show respect. You looking at a God exhorting no fear. About 5 in each ear, that's what you wanna hear. VA.
Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah,
What I say?
it's grown man business.
It's grown man business.